Yes, yes, fight fans, body and mind sports, my people. You are fully appreciated in this round, my guys, my people. First, let's tackle the whole idea Turkey allows Sheikh has with the zone to scrap all pay-per-view from all Ring magazine events, Riyadh season events, in fact, all Turkey-led events, my guys, my people. So what that means essentially is that if you are subscribed to the zone, then you wouldn't have to pay additional pay-per-view costs to see Ring magazine events, Riyadh season events, or all Turkey Allow Sheikh led events, my guys, my people, which sounds great. And really, Turkey is pushing for this in order to counter piracy that has been plaguing the sport and killing pay-per-view, my guys, my people. And really, piracy has really gained momentum simply because fight fans / subscribers have been having to pay subscription fees on the platforms that they're on with additional pay-per-view costs, and that just adds up to basically rip off fight fans. And with that, they will seek other means in order to watch the fights. They will seek means via piracy, or they just wouldn't invest in watching the fights at all. They will just wait for the highlights to be shown on YouTube or via other channels, right? So he's looking to, basically with this whole idea to encourage growth in the sport of boxing by increasing the number of fight fans watching shows via the legal means, my guys, my people. But I have to say, this idea is not really new. The zone, when they first entered boxing, they were actually looking to do this. However, I can see why it didn't come into reality, right? Simply the way I see it, a lot of these big name fighters, for us to get the fights that we want from them, they demand huge purses, which usually these broadcasting platforms and promotions, they can't put up the money for the purses, and so they are very heavily reliant on pay-per-view to buff up fighters' purses so we can get the fights. And often we still don't get the fights. Even with pay-per-view, we still don't get the fights, right? It wasn't until the arrival of Turkey Allow Sheikh where we able to get Better Beef and Bivol to fight, Tyson Fury and Usyk to fight, right? But since the emergence of Turkey Allow Sheikh, he has just been paying these fighters without even the promise of pay-per-view on their contracts. Tyson Fury versus Usyk 2, 150 million Turkey offered on the table for them to split between themselves. That was, I believe, a career's highest for Usyk at the time, right? But now, my guys, today, Daniel Dubois versus Usyk taking place at Wembley Stadium for Undisputed. 200 million on the table for the fighters to split between themselves. Guaranteed 130 million for Usyk and around 71 million for Daniel Dubois, my guys, my people. And without the promise of pay-per-view, right? So Turkey has been able to be paying these fighters without promising pay-per-view. And I know this last event, Dubois Usyk, is not a Turkey-led event, my guys. It is a Queensbury Promotions event. However, my guys, Riyadh Season and the Ring magazine, who are essentially Turkey Al Sheikh, they are one of the few sponsors of this fight, my guys, my people. So yeah, you might as well say that Turkey is involved, my guys, my people. So yeah, so you can see there why this idea of scrapping pay-per-view is now possible with the arrival of Turkey and the Saudis with their huge money reserves that they're looking to throw into boxing and grow the sport, my guys, my people. But one question I have to ask, I mean, previously Turki, although has not been making profit from his shows, has possibly been able to recoup some of that money back from pay-per-view. All right, because it's not something he's promised to the fighters, but it has been something that has been added to his shows, right? Pay-per-view. So that is an avenue to recoup some money back. But via scrapping pay-per-views, how do you recoup any money that he's invested? You know, so I'm thinking maybe fighters might have to take cuts, small cuts going forward, or maybe they might not have to take any cuts at all, right? Because simply Turki has detailed that they will be offering subscribers to the zone packages, my guys, my people. A package A and a package B, he says. Package A, where you will pay a small amount and the show will be brought to you in HD definition with commercials while the show is going on, my guys. And then you would not be privy to behind the scene interviews. So you will pay a small amount for that package, and then you will have also a package B where you will pay an amount around what you are possibly paying already for a monthly subscription with the zone, which here in the UK is £30. Maybe in the US about $30. I'm not sure, but let's take the £30 mark, right? You pay that amount. The show will be brought to you in 4K resolution. You won't have to watch as many commercials, but there will be a few there, and you will be privy to behind the scene interviews, my guys, my people. So you will pay a little bit more for that package, right? So that is the idea. And so when I hear him talk about commercials, then bing, that tells me that, look, that is a way for him to pull back some of the costs, to pull back some of his investments, get some money back, my guys, my people. After all, this is not charity. Even he said himself that they have poured a lot of money into boxing, and eventually they'll be looking to get some of that money back. So that could be an avenue. He also brought up one idea of splitting the fight cards into 3 segments. You have an A+ segment, B segment, and a C segment. C segment, where you will pay the lowest amount, and then B segment you pay like an intermediary amount, and then A+ is you pay a lump sum, like a higher amount, right? So these are all ideas to try and get some money back. He doesn't go into detail what is to be involved in those segments, but you can tell that he has thought this through, and you know, he sees a way that it can work. Let's see if it can work. Let's see if it will work, my guys, my people, going forward. And he hopes that this will possibly encourage other promotions to also scrap pay-per-views, because he doesn't see that with this idea falling into place, where pay-per-view is scrapped with his shows on the zone, that you know, other promotions will have much of a choice but to join, get down or lay down, more or less. So this is a takeover. It is a similar business, you know, strategy that Netflix uses without the aid of pay-per-view. Netflix, where Turki will be showcasing Terence Bud Crawford versus Saul Canelo Alvarez. Well, this also means that in the future, after that fight there, Turki will no longer be reliant on Netflix. So all his money now will be going to the zone, my guys, where he is 100% invested, my guys, my people. So yeah, everything's staying in house, and he's hoping that with this new idea, it will usher in 5 million to 15 million new subscribers on the Zone. The Zone, my guys, my people, which currently has 300 million regular monthly users and 60 million premium subscribers, my guys, my people. Super great idea. Looks like a takeover. It has started, my guys, my people. And like you said, this whole new idea of scrapping of pay-per-view will start with the November mega card led by David Benavidez and Anthony Yard, my guys, my people. And I say, let's get it and let's see where it takes us, my guys, my people. Sounds great. With that said, I think it's time we move forward, my guys. Shakur Stevenson and Cornor Benn had a verbal agreement to fight on the Ariel Helwani show, you know, to have a fight at 147 pounds. Actually, Cornor Benn put it on Shakur. He told him 147 pounds is my division. I am the strongest there, and at my most explosive. I'm a natural fighter. I will come there. I mean, you come up there and I'll beat you up. Shakur promises you're not that big. You're not that big. So I've been sizing you up all along. If you come to fight me, I will box your head off. Shakur, who has been boxing since age 5, so 22 years experience, my guys, my people. He is 28 years old now, same age as Cornor Benn. Cornor Benn only started boxing when he was 17 years old, and it does make a difference when you start boxing, my guys, my people, because old bad habits can creep in. So the longer you've been boxing, the more disciplined you are to boxing fundamentals. It does make a big difference. I think this is a great fight. I love the idea of this fight, my guys, my people. Especially for Shakur, but for Cornor Benn too. Cornor Benn too. For Shakur, it will be you know, taking a chance at greatness, because you will have to move up, what, 2 divisions. He currently fights at 135 pounds, where he is the WBC champion, my guys, my people. And for Cornor Benn, a chance to test himself against an elite fighter. You know, I think this would be a great fight. Cornor Benn, whose fight with Chris Eubank Jr., the rematch, is not so much promised anymore. And it seems there's quite a hold up on that fight. It has been, what, 11 weeks since they had their first fight in April, right? And they were supposed to have the rematch on September the 20th. Both sides had agreed, right? That date was a feasible date. However, it's like the Eubank team are now holding up play, right? They're now holding up play, and Eddie Hearn suspects it may not happen. In fact, he goes as far as saying that he believes that Chris Eubank Jr. may retire. You know, a lot of us speculating that it could be because this contract is no different from the first contract they had, where Chris Eubank Jr. has to still go through this whole rehydration clause, and him having to cut weight to 160 pounds, which he has been saying all along that he's no longer a 160 pounder, my guys, my people. Let's hope this fight can be made. I, for one, I'm looking forward to this fight, simply because I believe, yeah, that, you know, Cornor Benn can improve. I think with a new strategy, instead of coming out wild and throwing wild punches, thinking, hoping that one of those is going to land, that was not the strategy that he should have used. All right, if he is to come in and be, perhaps try to be more clinical, things may turn out better for him. All right, you might possibly even win. You might win. On the other hand, I don't see, you know, any more improvement that Eubank Jr. can actually make, my guys, my people. So Cornor Benn has promised, in case that fight does not happen, which, however, Eubank Jr.'s manager, Napa, he has said that the hold-up is simply because this is a huge event and there are still some creases that Eubank Jr. needs to iron out with the Saudis before the fight can go ahead. So he believes the fight will still go ahead. Eddie Hearn doesn't think so, my guys, my people. But let's see what happens. Anyway, Cornor Benn says if it doesn't happen, then him and Shakur can fight next at 147, my guys, my people. However, if the Eubank fight does happen, then they can fight after the Eubank fight. And I think that would be a great fight for Shakur. Shakur, who, according to Turkey, is resting off after his performance against William Zepeda. You know, to rest off his hands. He has been going through, you know, hand issues for the past several fights since his fight with, well, since before his fight with Edwin De Los Santos. And that was the reason behind his very lackluster performance with Edwin De Los Santos, for which he got much criticisms for. But after this latest fight with William Zepeda, man, his stock has increased because the fans, they love the fact that he was able to combine his defensive prowess with attack in this fight, and they saw both sides of him now, which they truly love. So his stock has increased. It has increased, my guys, my people. But for now, though, Shakur Stevenson is resting off from that Zepeda fight, my guys, my people. And once he's back, if some along the line the Cornor Benn does not happen, or even if it is there to happen, maybe Shakur can look at other options. Maybe he can look at other options which are available to him. Floyd Schofield now is feeling very froggy and he wouldn't mind fighting Shakur. Oscar De La Hoya, his promoter, just as froggy. He wouldn't mind putting Schofield against Shakur, someone that Schofield ran from, in their scheduled fight in February, my guys, my people. But we wouldn't go into the reason behind that anymore. I'm sure you guys know already. So that is an option there available for Shakur to take, my guys, my people. But I think Schofield feeling very confident after his performance against Tevin Farmer, getting rid of him in just one round. Farmer, who was a big problem for William Zepeda in 2 fights, my guys, my people. And Zepeda putting up a great performance against Shakur. I think that is why he's fancying his you know, his chances against Shakur. Floyd Schofield is, my guys, my people. But if I was Shakur, I wouldn't allow him to get the fight so easily. I know Schofield's stock possibly grew slightly now, but I would tell Schofield to fight Josh Padley. Seriously, to fight Josh Padley, because I think Josh Padley is a really good fighter, my guys, my people. We just don't know that because he's never fought any promising top fighter or even a promising prospect. So yeah, man, I think Schofield should be offered Josh Padley. Makes sense to me after messing up the first show, pulling out for no good reason. Giving Josh Padley to fight, man. Let him fight Josh Padley. Let's see how he does with Josh Padley. I think he will have issues with Josh Padley, and I'm not even joking. Anyway, let's move forward. Other option available for Shakur is, of course, Lemon Roach, whose stock has grown after his controversial performance with Gervonta Tank Davis, a fight that ended in a draw, right? Majority draw. Was it majority draw? Anyway, it was a draw, my guys, my people. And we all thought that Lemon Roach actually won that fight. Gervonta Tank Davis, just not very. People are saying because of what is going on in his. But come on, man, who does not have issues in their life, my guys? If you are into the sport of boxing, you are required to have a certain mental fortitude, which at the moment I would say Gervonta Tank Davis does not have. You know, and I was saying right after Richardson Hitchens had his fight with George Kambosos at 140 pounds and beat Kambosos, Gervonta Tank Davis called him out almost immediately, saying to him, "Be ready when I see you." But I'm thinking, you got a rematch coming with Lemon Roach. Why are you being sidetracked? Be focused on your rematch. You could lose. Get focused, my guys, my people. So that showed me that he was not focused at all. And I thought to myself, he's getting cold feet here. He's getting cold feet. Lemon Roach himself said Tank was getting cold feet and we might not get the fight. That Tank may pull out. Well, you might as well say he's pulled out because the fight is not happening. But I really suspected this. Really suspected this, my guys. Which means that Roach is now available. Shakur and Roach will make a great fight, I believe. They already have a verbal agreement even before they were looking to make the Tank rematch. So yeah, let's get that fight, man. Let's get that fight. I think that would be a great matchup for Roach and Shakur going forward, my guys, my people. So if Turkey wants to make any matches, that's what I think you should be looking at. Shakur and Roach. Shakur and Roach. Not so much Shakur and Schofield. I still really don't like that fight. Even with Schofield knocking out Farmer in just one round. Doesn't mean anything to me, to tell you the truth. I think Schofield should get Josh Badley. That's where I'm at this particular moment. So yeah, what more can I fit into this video? I really want to keep this one short. You know, if you are going to the Daniel Dubois Usyk undisputed fight at Wembley Stadium, yeah, that's gonna be a great fight. Can't wait. I'm gonna be there, my guys, my people. So yeah, if I bump into any one of you guys, if you do know who I am, you know, you might not know because I'm not really that big at this particular moment, but I'm gonna be there anyway, my guys, my people. But with that said, I'm just gonna wrap it up here. But do you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to comment extensively, but I got a feeling, I did predict that Usyk wins via unanimous decision, but no, I don't know. I got this strong feeling within me that Dubois might do it, you know, that he might stop Usyk in the 8th or 9th round. That's the feeling I got within me. But then again, Usyk could bring out all the stocks and stop him too, because he's talking about don't push the horse, you know. At their last presser and weigh-in, he said don't push the horses, which to me means that don't, you know, don't put too much pressure on Daniel Dubois to perform, as his team are putting on him right now and just trying to fire him up, you know. That may actually be his failure. That is what I believe Usyk is saying there, which could mean that Usyk is possibly mad right now and he will pull out all the stocks. Usyk, who is not easy to push back. If you watch his stance, he has quite a reasonably wide stance when he's not looking to get pushed back. Right, and Dubois, he stands more or less upright, so his stance is not so wide, you know. So Dubois, because of his size, he has a 16-pound advantage. Yeah, 16-pound advantage. He weighed in at 243.8 pounds, which is 10 pounds more than what he weighed in at in his last fight with Usyk. And Usyk came in at just 6 pounds more than what he last weighed in his first fight with Daniel Dubois. He came in at 227 pounds, my guys, my people. So not much difference there for Usyk. For Daniel Dubois, he's coming lighter than what he came in at with Hrgovic. That was, he came in at 245, and came in definitely lighter than what he came in at with Joshua. So that was at 248. So you can see there he's looking for a bit of speed. He's looking for a bit of speed. I think he's figured out that Usyk might give him a bit of a runaround with Usyk's very mesmerizing movement in the ring, which he does not just run around the ring. He moves in circles and keeps the fight in the center. He likes to be in the center. But I think Daniel Dubois, to succeed in this fight, he's got a great right hand, that is good, you know, against a southpaw. And in the last fight, he was throwing that right hand and coming behind it with a left hook, and that is great because Usyk likes to exit via his right hand side, my guys, my people, to get away from the line of fire. Usyk at times, he has his guard up, head down. The uppercut should be useful for Daniel Dubois, and of course the body punch, my guys, my people. So those are things I think Dubois should not neglect, but he really has to find a way to string up his punches, not just look for one or two punches at a time, but try to string up the punches, and don't let even a fraction of a second lapse you know, without throwing anything and losing concentration, because Usyk could tag him. He would tag him and he would string up his punches and gain momentum, my guys. Usyk himself doesn't really have to change anything. What he would go through is, you know, either slow down or increase the pace of the fight whenever he feels he has to, because he's a complete fighter. Doesn't have to change anything, my guys, my people. I still think he wins, but I got a strong feeling Dubois might get it via an 8th or 9th round KO, my guys, my people. Now, with that said, that's all I have for you on this one, my guys, my people. Before you leave, do like, do share, subscribe. Of course, drop your comments below, my guys, my people. And as always, stay super blessed, my guys, my people.